Welcome to the Crimeycade. I am the Mad Conservative Crime Fighter, former Gamer of the Year, uh, and 1991 Nintendo Campus Challenge National Champion, Stephen Lucas, and another edition of the Crimeycade, episode number 68. Wow. Last week's episode, and I'll talk about my wild stuff that's been going on lately. Oh, I gotta get this off. There we go. Last week, our guest, and I gotta get to the right screen so I can advance the slide, was Joe Sullivan, who runs the Traveling Retro Gaming Museum. He was at the KC Retro GameCon 2 weeks ago that I also attended, and got to see some rare items that he takes to some of the shows, and it was a fun couple-hour podcast. If you haven't seen it, I encourage you to go check it out. This weekend, the next 2 weekends on Sunday, September 21st, 2025, Tekken 8 tournament will be held at the Headless Horseman Arcade in Wheeling, Illinois. The defending champion is one Damian Cordova. He has both belts. The interim, or as I like to call it, the Intercontinental Blade Wars Championship. And he has the World Bloody Wars Heavyweight Championship around his waist. And darn it, I would like to have either one of those belts around my waist. But unfortunately, wrong place. I was not in a place where I could, I guess, have a special one-on-one match with the former champion by the name of JP Pitts, who, speaking of which, is in the back in the green room. He has something to say, so let's bring him in. JP, welcome in.
Stephen Lucas, what's going on, man? How you doing? Can you hear me all right?
Yes, you had something to share.
Yes.
Before we start.
So after going through so much, first off, thank you for having me on the show. As always, it's always an honor being on your show. Everybody in the stream chat on Twitch, what's popping? So yeah, there has been a lot going on lately regarding, rescheduling, figuring out the schedule, how everything's going to go for Bloody Wars. And after further speculations of what's going on, we are actually rescheduling the Tekken 8 tournament. So I have
What?
Yes, sir. So
what?
I have the updated schedule up right here if you want to pull that up. So that's the updated schedule that we have right now. So the Tekken 8 tournament will be on Sunday, October 5th at 3 p.m. instead of the 21st. Just a lot going on during that day. So we're just trying to make sure that we get every single FGC Tekken 8 player in the roster, in the bracket, so we guys can put on a show for you all. So that's what's going to be going on October 5th. And of course, we've got the Waku Waku 7 tournament at the Galloping Ghost Arcade on Sunday, September 28th.
Starting at 8 p.m.?
Does this say 8 p.m.? Oh.
Yes!
No, it should be 3 p.m. That's my bad. I don't know where I got that from. But
8 o'clock is a little bit too late.
No, it's all good. So it's going to be 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Sunday, September 28th. You know what's cool about this schedule change? Aiden Cordova, this was his MVP of the year game pick that he's decided he wants to put for Bloody Wars this year. And that's what we're going to be putting on a show with, Waku Waku 7. There is an interesting story behind why Aiden Cordova chose that specific game. If you guys are wondering what that specific reason is, that story, it's heart touching. Let me tell you, we'll be announcing that story on our Bloody Wars pre-show for Waku Waku 7. Stay tuned for that stream for that. And of course, after all of those tournaments, we've got the Bloody Wars anniversary, the 3-year anniversary. October 15th on a Wednesday is going to be at Fight Fest Arena at 6:30 p.m. We open our doors at 5 o'clock so that way everybody can get their last gaming in and their last everything was going on, at least for season 3. So, and of course, as always, we will be announcing who will be the Bloody Wars MVP of the year. We've got the trophy right here in display. So we will be announcing who will be the MVP of the year.
Focus on you. 1 second. Hold that up. There you go. Now hold that up. Oh, look at that. That is a beautiful looking trophy.
We've got Norbert Vale, our very first ever MVP of the year. He's on there as well. And of course, your reigning defending MVP of the year, Aiden Cordova. He's in there as well. But we're going to be announcing a brand new one. I've already got my pick locked in, but who knows? Anything can happen within these 2 tournaments. Who knows? Just someone has to step up to the plate.
All right. So I got a question for you.
Sure.
You dropped your titles to Damian Cordova recently.
You mean Damien?
Damian, yes.
Yeah.
You only. Oh my gosh! You just dropped your laptop?
No, I'm good. I'm chilling.
Almost knocked it down. Anyway, you defended your belts just kind of on spur of the moment. On one game, I kind of thought if someone was to challenge you for championships, that you would kind of like, I don't know, do a best of 7 challenge.
You think I'm going to give up those belts and defend? You think I'm going to hold on to these belts and defend them for Tekken 8? You're crazy. I have never played Tekken 8 in my life. I've only played Tekken 7. Shout outs to Negan. Love that man.
Can't be that big of a jump. Well,
but
yeah, I do have one other question, though. Oh, go ahead and finish your answer, though.
No, but I was just saying, like, I know I wasn't going to defend the belts against Tekken, like against the people in Tekken 8, especially how modern the game is and how new the game is to this day. I knew, with that being said, I knew there's going to be competition along the way, like big competition. I know Gold Diamonds and RIB Donnell 1134, they'll show up for this event. They were the grand finalists for Fight Fest Tekken 8. So those that don't remember what Fight Fest was, it was a 3-day weekend event with all the FGC games here. We're definitely going to do that next year, that's for sure. But those guys will be back. Who am I to go up against those guys in Tekken 8? I know nothing about that game. So Damien challenged me to a match, like a 1-to-3 match in Street Fighter. He earned his spot to being champion. Shout outs to him. I hope he's watching the stream. But yeah, it's cool that we've got one of our longest contenders of the Bloody Wars tournament defending the belt against his own game. Why this game is very good, you'll find out in the pre-show.
So I have one other question. When are we gonna have a Tetris tournament at Bloody Wars?
I've seen this podcast. I've seen this podcast. It's funny how I'm involved in a podcast with Tetris. You're probably not going to see that ever in your life, Steven.
You mean you wouldn't like to have a contender like Cole Bucket, who's won the Classic World Tetris Challenge in Philadelphia, and we lost our other guy. Oh, our other guest disappeared on us. Damn it.
I've heard about him. I've heard about you, man. Shout outs to you for playing Tekken.
He's
personally,
back.
I'm not a Tekken. Okay. I'm not a person. I'm not a good Tekken player or Tetris player, but I heard it's a good game. Maybe there's another team probably that will do Tetris tournaments. Who knows? But yeah, that's what we've got going on. A rescheduled date for the Bloody Wars tournament. If you pull up, this is going to be the last thing that I'll say, and then I'll let you guys have at it.
But I have one other thing. I want to say this. Would you like to have, you could have the Micetro, the champion of Kansas City, take on the champion of Philadelphia at the Galloping Ghost Arcade in a Bloody Block Battles tournament.
Did one of you guys? Did you just ask you guys one other question? Did you guys kill screen the game at one point? Because I thought I saw a news article on that.
You're muted. Go ahead. Cole is muted. Maestro's muted. Can you go ahead? You can answer.
So can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so Tetris players, we have collectively beat the kill screen. We've been able to survive so long that the game would either crash or rebirth the levels. I'm not a part of that gang because I am the champion of the DAS, the old school play style, and we can't do stuff like beating the kill screen. But players like Cole and many of players of his caliber, they are a threat to beat that kill screen.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw that in the news article. One of these, like recently, I saw a news article about that. That's very respectable. Huge shout outs to you guys for being, best Tetris players of all time. Me personally, I have no experience in that, but I respect you guys for it. But yeah, I mean, going back into what I was saying, Steven. So yeah, this is what's going to be happening. That schedule with the anniversary. Yeah. We're going to find out who is the MVP of the year. Maybe we'll have a Tetris tournament. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe under a different brand. Definitely not Bloody Wars, but we'll see. If you pull up one more image real quick, I've uploaded. So that right there, I decided real quick. So this is just like a behind the scenes footage, like a behind the scenes image of what I'm going to be pulling off. This is something that I'm going to be releasing in the anniversary. What it is, can't say what it is. You guys are going to have to watch the stream or be part of it at Fight Fest Arena, but make sure you guys are a part of the anniversary. Steven, before I go, because I do have a game that I got to attend to, Go Pats Go. Who do you think should be MVP of the year for this year, for season 3?
I haven't the slightest idea right now. I haven't really thought about it since we've had multiple champions and they relinquish their belts before they actually defend them. I mean, there's only been one champion that's actually been a fighting champion the entire year. Everybody else, one and done. And it's bugged me like crazy. It's like, if you're going to be the man, let yourself, beat the man. Cole is having some technical difficulties. Hopefully he can get his audio issues straightened out. Apparently audio is not coming through for him at all. I don't know why, but video is. So we'll see I may have him pull out one of these and join with this, because this has better results. When the desktop or the laptop mic and video card decide to not behave themselves or work as they're supposed to.
Sure. So, like I said, my question remains, who do you think should be MVP of the year?
Right now, I guess the number one contender would be Norbert Vale. I would have to assume.
Okay.
Because he's held the titles multiple times this year, and he's the only one who's actively defending those belts. Nobody else that I know of. Not Jeff Lucas, not the guy from New York, not the what is his name? Spirit?
Spirit?
He didn't defend his belts either. And then we had a champion come by, not participate in tournament, and just drop the belts off and vacate them like
It's funny
ridiculous.
how IGP doesn't tell me what's going on with Spirit. It would have been a fun time if the team IGP came out and played Street Fighter 6 with us. Maybe we will have that maybe next year. Who knows? We've got some updates for you, but yeah, I'm gonna let you get back to your show, Steven. But yeah, guys, just one more thing before I head on out. Thank you guys so much for 3 years of Bloody Wars in the fighting game community. It's been awesome. Like, we've been getting contenders from New York, Florida. We've got a whole family from Texas coming out for Bloody Wars. It's been awesome, and we are improving ways where we can figure out some stuff like what we can do better on our end. Look out for the anniversary stream, which is October 15th on a Wednesday, 6 p.m. sharp. Look out for the rocket, because that's gonna do some damage. We will see. But for now, I'll let you get back to your show, Steven. Have fun. Thank you guys so much for having me on. We'll catch you on the next stream.
All right.
All right, Cole, you were having some technical difficulties, so let's see if your audio is working now. And no. Here's how I'm going to make a recommendation. Pull out one of these. Join on a smartphone. This will work, guaranteed. This will work. I'll take you off. I'll take you down for a moment, and we'll try the cell phone method. All right, proper introduction. Can I call you by your real name, or do you want to be referred to only by your gamer tag?
I think the gamer tag is cooler. So
although you can introduce yourself by your real name, because I did figure what it was. And
oh, sure, that's fine. Well, yeah, I don't mind if people figure that out, but I prefer my gamer tag is really cool. Yeah.
All right. So introducing first, by the way, the JP Pitts joining us was kind of a spur of the moment deal. So
gotcha.
I was going to talk about KC Retro a little bit before we started, because there was a bit of a scandal that happened after the show was over. Someone got banned.
Oh, wow. At the KC Retro?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
A streamer associated with Locale Live got banned for his behavior at the con and then offline, but we'll talk about it on the backside of this podcast.
Well, okay. Wow, that's wild. I don't think
I
it had anything to do with the Tetris, though, right?
No, it doesn't affect the Tetris thing at all. All right, let's bring Cole back in and see if how's it going, Cole?
Yeah, it should be working now. I don't know how good it is, but
it's actually very loud and clear.
All right, great.
Welcome in. All right, so introducing first the winner of the Classic Tetris World Championships in Kansas City, the Micetro. Also, besides being a great Tetris player, he's also a great classical pianist.
Yes,
and before you came in, we listened to one of your covers.
Wow, which one was it?
It was Beethoven. God, it was 15 minutes long. It's Beethoven Sonata number 22, option 54 from March.
Excellent. Yeah, that was a very, very challenging recording. I started this project to play all the Beethoven sonatas, all 32 of his sonatas, about 4 years ago, and now I'm working on number 23. For quite a while there, I was able to pump one out every month or every couple months, but to do 22, it took almost like a whole year, just to do one. It was really challenging. The piece itself was challenging. It was like a different kind of challenge where Beethoven, you usually want to be very expressive and very emotional and very energetic. 22, though, it has a lot of nuance. You can't just bully your way through it. you have to have a certain calm while handling all the technical difficulties. And so just getting that balance took a long time and a lot of thought and a lot of practice. Not to mention, I was also going through a lot in my life, which would take me away from the piano sometimes, or it would just make my head very cloudy when I tried to practice. So I'm really really proud of that recording.
Although there's not too many gamers that I know that play classical music and game.
I think that's probably more actually might be a little more common than you think. I think especially at least the Tetris players. I know there's a lot of us classic Tetris players that play some kind of instrument. There's a whole I think Cole, maybe you know more about it. There's the whole MSM uh, group of classic Tetris players. They're like some of the best classic Tetris players we have, and they also like do tons of music. Like some of our best Tetris players, like Joseph Saley, Dog playing Tetris. They don't do classical music, but they are all like really talented with producing music, and they have quite a like discography of stuff that you could listen to. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's because like Tetris is a very like mathematical kind of game. It's very um I like to think that a lot of Tetris players are pretty good at math, and then that kind of also lends itself into music as well, with how music is very much about a lot of the harmonies and theory and rhythm is very mathematical. So I like to think there's a lot of overlap between music and Tetris actually.
Introducing our second guest on the podcast. He is the winner of the 2025 Classic Tetris World Championships in Philadelphia. He is known as Cole Bucket number 2, or Cole. Welcome in.
Yeah, hi. It's great to be on here. I know we had some technical difficulties, but that's fixed now. Um, yeah, I've been playing Tetris for about 4 years now, and this community is awesome. I mean, even Micetro, he's a great guy too, and just there's a lot of like connectivity. Like you feel like you're close to everyone in the community, and it's just great. So definitely not going to stop soon.
So let's. Yeah, and I got a copy of this.
Nice.
I'm okay, but I'm not on the level of any of you guys. Not at the slightest. I've also always felt that I was in the shadow of Thor Ackerland, the winner of the 1990 Nintendo World Championships, being the Campus Challenge winner. And I still want to meet Thor. Hasn't happened yet. But regardless, we'll start with you, Cole. So what got? We're gonna have to go all the way back to the game because this is the question I always ask all my guests. What was the very first video game you ever touched?
I remember, it would probably have to be Minecraft. I think I grew up playing that a lot with my brothers and online. Yeah, I've played some Atari, but in terms of like the first game I can remember vividly, it would probably be Minecraft.
So would you say Minecraft was the hook into gaming? All those, and this was what year?
Probably 2015 when I was
2015.
8 or 9 years old. Minecraft,
You know,
definitely.
surprisingly, I've never played Minecraft. I never got into it. I know what it is. It's kind of like a builder's type of a game and 3D first person shooter mixed together. But I've I kind of I never played it. Um, I've been my focus has been on classic arcade game and score chasing lately. But Maestro, what was the hook that got you into gaming?
So I had, I'm Asian. I'm Taiwanese. Both my parents are, they're kind of your classic Asian parents. So I actually didn't grow up with any video gaming consoles. I got to play a lot on the computer
Mhm.
from all the way until 8th grade. but I never actually owned not even like a DS, which was like really popular about 20 years ago. When I went to high school, I went to boarding school, and I met a very dear friend there named Lewis, and he kind of through emulators, he kind of introduced me to a lot of the classic games. What really got me hooked was two things. It was The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask on the Nintendo 64. Um, and it was also all the Pokemon, the main franchise games for the Game Boy and the Game Boy Advance, and then eventually the DS. And basically, it was through those emulators I got to explore Zelda and Pokemon for the first time. And then that led to me, finding out about like Mega Man, the really old Zelda games, old Mario games, and I was just playing them on my computer. Um, yeah, and like ever since then, I managed to beat quite a few of those games on the computer, but nowadays I'm trying to get to a place where I can get all of those consoles and then actually beat all those games through the true, authentic experience and not just an emulator.
Well, we're at a GameCon, and I think about every one of those retro consoles was for sale somewhere. I saw
Yeah.
Vectrex. I saw, jeez, Odyssey, I think. Just every system. Now, and yes, copies of this were floating around in several different
Of
versions.
course.
So I'll ask you this. I'll ask each one of you, what led you to Tetris? What got you into Tetris and got you focused on playing competitively? And I'll start with Cole.
Yeah, so my first kind of introduction to Tetris was actually all the way back in 2019. So there's a very big Tetris YouTuber. His name is A Game Scout, and he makes recap videos on any world record or competition. And his videos on his journey to CTWC, which is the big championship, is what got me into it. I was always interested, but I didn't think I'd be that good, so I never really touched the game for a few more years. But later, there ended up being this new technique, which I'm sure we'll talk more in depth later, called rolling. And this allowed people to move the pieces even faster. And so I saw that and I was like, okay, that looks like I could pick that up. So maybe this is my chance to actually become good at the game, and maybe it's my time. So that's why I started fully focusing on playing and getting better. But
Maestro?
Yeah, so I've always been curious about Tetris. I mean, even back in the days where we had the flip phones and they come with Tetris, I always had a pretty good interest on the flip phone. And then in high school, a lot of my friends introduced me to Tetris Battle on Facebook, where you can actually play against another player online and you battle it out. And like when you clear lines, it sends garbage to the other screen. And so throughout the 2010s, I actually got pretty good at what they call modern Tetris, which is where you get all the T spins, clear more lines, send more garbage, you get extra points. There's more spins that you can do. You can do combos. There's like more fancy stuff that you could do with the Tetris. The randomization is a little more fair so that you get an even distribution of all the pieces. So that was kind of the Tetris I was familiar with throughout the 2010s. And then 2018 came along, and I discovered the very infamous Classic Tetris World Championship viral video, the 2016 finals, the Boom Tetris for Jeff video, where uh, it seemed like every time Jonas got a Tetris, they would just say Boom Tetris for Jeff. And that million got like millions and millions, like 10, 20 million views or something. And I saw
Oh
that,
gosh, I
and
gotta
that
pull this
was,
up.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
this is
It's
it. I'm gonna put it up here. Share screen. Go
yeah,
ahead.
and Yeah, and so that was kind of where it all started. Yes, this video.
Mhm.
And then I just kept watching. They have videos of all of the footage from the past Classic Tetris World Championships, and yeah, that I was hooked. I felt now I the thing is I felt that wait, I can do this because modern Tetris is actually played at a much faster pace than this classic Tetris here. Um, where modern Tetris, you can like force the pieces to fall faster, and you have a lot more flexibility in the movement. So I felt, well, surely I can do this, right? And so, but for a while, I really just I was just like so enamored by the fact that something like this even existed. Um, for a while there, because I was still kind of stuck on the emulators and I didn't really have a way
This
to
up
like get.
here.
Oh yes, yeah, yeah, that that is a very important documentary that kind of explains where all of this stuff started. Um, yeah, but basically, it got really crazy in 2018 when Joseph Saley, the 16-year-old kid at the time, won it from Jonas because Jonas had won it 7 times, and then Joseph just came in, picked up the game in like 6 months or something, and he basically just swept everyone by surprise. And then he won it again in 2019, and by that point, I was like, I need to do something to play this game, and so I downloaded this NES Tetris on my emulator, and then the rest is history.
Cole, you have more thoughts about this
Yeah,
part
I
there?
mean, I think Joseph Saley, he was definitely kind of the first person to really show that like anyone can do it. And he really brought in like a new wave of Tetris players because right after Joseph won in 2018, that's when you started seeing all these new gen players, these teenagers that were like, oh, Joseph can do it, I can do it too. So it really pushed it to where the scene's gotten today.
So, do I actually have a chance to actually get good at this game and actually be competitive as a 54-year-old man when you're still like in your 20s and 30s? Or is there no hope?
Yeah.
Well,
So yeah, go ahead, Cole. Go ahead.
I think that's where rolling comes into it because it's a lot better like ergonomically for your hands. So before rolling, it was mostly hyper tapping, which is just you tap as fast as you can. So that was better for a lot of younger players
Oh, sorry.
with like genetics and stuff. But I think with rolling, the technique, it really allows so that anyone can get better if you put enough time in. I mean, how old is Fractal's dad? I think he's 57.
Something like
Something.
that.
He might be in his 60s, and he has a max out with rolling. And I think it just shows anyone can really get better in this era. So
Although one problem, I learned how to pull the controller, a Nintendo controller like this. I've always played like this. Everybody kind of holds it like this. I never played Nintendo like this. Probably because I was used to an Atari 2600 joystick, and you got these little small controllers. So I had to figure out how to hold it. And I wanted to have my fingers on these two buttons to press them whenever and rock this cross back and forth my two forefingers. So how would I roll if I have the back of my thumbs on the back of the controller to hold it in place while I'm punching these with my forefingers up here? How would I do that?
yeah, I don't know. It's the type of thing where you have to figure out a new grip. But I do think that rolling, in essence, it allows it so that if you really wanted to, you could probably become very good at the game, even if you don't have like the genetics to tap really fast or the reaction time. I think it's a door to get better at the game if you really try hard enough. So
Although how do you do the rolling? You just do this on the back. Well, on the cross side, you just tap the back of this, and it goes like you're holding the button, like you're holding right or something, and you tap the back, and it supposedly makes it go quicker.
See, I should have grabbed my controller. I do not have it on me. Mice, do you have
Oh, well.
a controller? Maestro, do you have a controller on you?
I could go to the other room and get. You want to get a controller for me?
Yeah, I'd like to see how. I've seen
Yeah, I
videos
mean,
where they do the rolling technique. In fact, I might just pull rolling Tetris.
Thank you.
you should be able to give a decent demonstration. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, I'm not a roller. I'm still like I'd still have to figure out how that works. But the idea is you find some way of getting your fingers to just push down on the D-pad with enough pressure, so that if you roll into the back of it like this, then you'll be you're kind of rolling it into your fingers so that it will give you a lot of very quick inputs. Yeah. So
So it'll
again,
register faster than it
yes.
normally would.
Yeah. Exactly.
So tapping quick isn't going to cut it. It's
Yeah. Something like
galloping
that.
on the back of your controller.
Yeah.
Which I don't even think Thor Ackerland even did that. He was able to tap the directional fast enough to clear the infamous level
Right.
29
Yeah.
to get to 30 and beyond.
Yeah.
Which now I see all sorts of videos online where they were like playing Tetris through all 256 levels. And if
Yeah.
somebody actually went that far, it rolls back to level 1 and then it slows down finally, which is insane. But some of the color schemes are just like, wow, how can you even see what's going on the screen? Those colors are so awful. Anyway, so I guess each of you described you just won a major championship recently, and for both of you, it was your first. You won your first major tournament this year. So Cole, how did you get into the Tetris tournaments community and become a competitive player?
Yeah, so I guess I'll branch off of what I said earlier. So in 2022, what I found out about rolling, that's when I started to play. And then throughout 2022, 2023, I started getting better. I started learning how to stack and how to play the faster speeds and how to roll. And then around the time it was 2023, I had about a 1.4, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try to make it out to the World Championships this year. And then I went to the World Championships that year. I did okay. I mean, I qualified for the bracket, but I ended up going out first round. But it wasn't about the tournament that actually made me want to play more. It was about the community. There's just so many nice people, so many good friends now that I have from the community that's like, okay, I want to, even if it's not to win tournaments, I want to come back just to hang out with these people. And then being able to play Tetris and win tournaments now is really just a benefit to that.
And here's footage of where you broke NES Tetris. Or at least that's what I think. Well, that's what the title said. You broke NES Tetris at the top.
Yeah.
I don't believe it was kill screened.
This was my most recent level PB where I made it to like level 100 something. I say broke Tetris because the line count bugged, but it's kind of clickbaity. But I mean, hey, it works. But yeah, it's really not, to me, it's not about winning or playing in tournaments. It's about being able to hang out with all these awesome people and all these awesome connections that I've formed throughout the past 3 years of playing.
And I will ask your opinions about Tetris players, famous ones, a little later. I got to remember to ask that, though, too. Blue never played. I would describe the Tetris community as one big family. Yes, that would be true. Yes, that is true. It's kind of a worldwide family because I think they held a tournament in South America, gosh, last week.
Yeah, in Brazil.
In Brazil, yeah.
Yeah. And I think tonight, oh no, I saw some sort of Tetris friendly thing going on. But
Yeah, there's a bunch of
Yeah.
online competitions, so we can still play each other even when we're all so far apart.
where was I going? So there's several versions of Tetris. It's not just the NES version. Before the NES version of Tetris came out, there was Atari or Tengen put out their version of Tetris first. And then there's this big old legal battle. Nintendo sued Atari
Yeah.
Games to take over because they claimed they had the license and Atari did not. Have you ever played the other? Let's say we'll go through the other games. The arcade version of Tetris or the Atari Games version of Tetris. Have you either one of you ever played it? And what were your thoughts on it compared to the Nintendo version?
Yeah, I haven't played the Atari version or any of the arcade versions, unfortunately. I mean, it's definitely on my bucket list to do so. I do know that the Atari version or the Tengen Tetris is well, it's got like a oh, are you pulling up the video?
Yeah, and it is somebody else's video. I wanted gameplay.
Yeah,
Here we
but
go.
basically, it looks really cool. I like the visuals of it. Yeah, and yeah, like the blocks are more like colorful. I think. The big thing about Atari Tetris is that when you think of like a kill screen, a
Mhm.
kill screen means that the pieces are falling so fast that it's almost impossible to really keep up. With this version of Tetris, the maximum speed is not actually super deadly. So
Mhm.
you could play for a very, very long time, forever, basically, if you once have a mastery of the game. And so this is what's known as a marathon type of Tetris, where it's more about just getting good at the maximum speed, and
Mhm.
then just seeing if you can go on and on and on for hours and see how high of a score you can rack up. Yeah.
So this is more of a level-based thing, Tetris, because when you clear a level, it throws in, it clears the board and then throws in blocks at the bottom that you have to go clear out or go around to keep the game going.
I think that might be a specific mode, or it might be a two-player feature where if you're clearing lines, it sends the garbage to another
Here we
player who
go.
might be playing at the same time.
This is one of those levels. You see all these staggered blocks at the bottom.
Yeah, so this is a training mode. It's the B type Tetris, where it randomly generates some garbage at the bottom, and you have to try to survive for a certain amount of lines.
Yep. Cole, have you ever played this version?
Yeah, I've only really played it at arcades. I mean, I don't play it frequently, which is why I think Mice probably has a bit better insight, but I don't like it. I
like?
I
It's
think
different.
yeah, it's different. I think for me the way that because it's on like a joystick and also
Hmm.
the arcade buttons, it just feels so different that it just doesn't feel nice to me at all. But I've played it some. Whenever I go to the arcade that's local to me, I play it. So
There was another, so I have a few more. Uh, KC Retro had this game out there, and you did tell me before for the pod that you wanted to try it out, but didn't quite get the chance.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Let's see if I can get this up here. I don't. It's so Disney put out a version of Tetris,
That's so funny.
and kind of with a story mode and kind of in a versus mode. And I'm waiting for this silly thing to load. It is a versus Tetris, but it also the mechanics are a little bit different. The big points seem to be from chaining a line clears on subsequent pieces together instead of just merely trying to get a Tetris. Or so if you, it's like this example here, it clears the line there. And then if you clear that line on the bottom next, you would get a chain bonus.
Right.
I need to skip to the real meat and potatoes of the game because that's like training mode there.
Here
And
we go.
if you clear several lines, you can your opponent can get 5 Tetris blocks. They're made of 5 pieces instead of 4,
Oh
and
wow.
odd
Oh,
shaped ones
that's funny.
too. So you could end up with a Pentris, which is a 5-line clear, although the shapes of the blocks are and unfortunate. Okay, the guy on the right has a 5-piece, so there he has a 5-block piece there. But looky there, he's getting. So you got U-shaped blocks. I saw earlier there was some. Gosh, I couldn't know how. A stair step block.
Yeah.
Cole, you think it? What do you think of this version?
yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's we have similar, not similar, but close game modes in NES Tetris where we use Game Genie codes. What is that piece?
Oh my
There's like a pyramid.
god.
Yeah,
Oh
even
my
bigger.
God.
You can have giant diamond shaped Tetris pieces that are made of yeah, way
Yeah, but
more.
the closest thing I'd think in NES Tetris is sometimes we use Game Genie codes where you can have like funky pieces or like that one piece that was like a little crown almost. It
Yeah,
shows up in some. It's called like stupid Tetris game modes.
yeah.
But I think a lot of the more modern games they use features where you have to try and spam line clears or chain them back to back. So it's a lot more intense, I think, in different aspects though to
Yeah.
NES Tetris.
There was a game like that called Tetris Effect. Have you played that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tetris Effect. It
Go
has a
ahead.
lot of it's kind of it has both a bunch of modern game modes, which is where you see chaining lines or uh like 7 bag where you have more fair RNG, but it also has a pretty concrete emulator of Classic Tetris, which is the game that we predominantly play. It's kind of like the more modernized look of Classic Tetris. Mice, if you want to add on to that, you can.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, it has, well, like Cole was saying, Tetris Effect Connected, I think the key word is connected. So I think it's like a love letter to all the versions of Tetris that have come before it, and it kind of wants to put them all in the same game. And so you can experience the classic or the modern versions of Tetris, and they also add their own feature, which is there's some modes that have something called the zone battle, which or zone mechanic, which means that you can basically have a zone meter that's being built up the more you clear lines, and then once you you know as you charge your zone meter, you can activate it, and the game kind of like freezes, and you get an opportunity to like clear some lines while in this zone mode, and um, you could go for like clearing, a bunch of lines at once. You could manage like yeah, this is right here. This is uh, the zone mode, and then yeah, this guy he just got
Perfect Tris. I've never
yeah.
seen that before.
Yeah, well, this
Yeah.
guy is really really good. He's
This is I believe this is a level 100 expert journey run through, um, which takes an hour and 45 minutes. Good grief. Uh, I can't imagine Blue Scooty playing so super fast for like hours, trying to clear 100 levels or kill screen the game. Well, not just kill screen the game, just crash the game. But he did it, so.
yeah, I mean, yeah. So this is like another kind of challenge. You can see that the piece movement is very free. You could get the issue isn't really getting the pieces to the left or the right because the pieces are actually falling. You know, the mechanics are so that you can get pieces to the left and right if you master them. You don't have to find a way to like turbo the controls or anything like that. But this is all about being like really creative with your stacking, and like trying to optimize to get like really fancy types of line clears, which is a really fun challenge. And also, this game is like really beautiful to look at as well. So if you want to just like enjoy the game and enjoy the visuals, they have like chill modes that you could just kind of literally zone out and just play, and it's a really calming thing to do.
Cole?
Yeah, I think what Maestro is saying, the main difference between kind of classic Tetris and the more modern versions is in the modern versions, you can control how fast you move the pieces a lot more freely. So you can go, you'll see on modern games, they're going a lot faster than classic Tetris players would. But at the same time, if they need to pause for a second and then think about their next move, they can. Whereas in classic Tetris, it's kind of a relentless speed. You can't slow it down, of course, unless you make it all the way back to level 0. But
Yeah.
for the most part, it's just relentless. You don't really get a break. But the modern players, they just push it so much faster because they can take the breaks when they need to. And it's very interesting to watch, I think, modern competitions.
There's also a virtual reality version. I played it. Yeah, the Illinois Game Con. I wore these glasses, and I was like, see the Tetris blocks falling and trying to put them in, and then other stuff seems to light up around me as like as a just I don't know if as a distraction or just visual calming visuals. In fact, I'm gonna have to bring one of those up. Have you played a VR version of Tetris?
Yeah, I have not. Yeah, I really want to though.
It might be
There's a lot
Tetris
of like
Effect.
yeah, it's definitely Tetris Effect connected. There's a VR version of it. Yeah.
The VR version was my first introduction to Tetris Effect Connected. And it's really cool once you get to like all the pretty looking levels and all the visual effects. it was a new experience, but I loved it. You can kind of see it here.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, it was a.
Is this
Although-
it? This looks different.
This is a little different, I think. I don't.
Fitris.
This
I
is
like
Fitris,
it.
Oh,
yeah.
Fitris! Oh, now I didn't realize this was some other version. I
This is
didn't know
great,
this
though.
existed.
Wow.
Yeah,
But
this looks awesome.
if this is for exercise,
Yeah.
my gosh, yeah.
An actual Tetris gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. Though, okay, so you have this Tetris. You don't actually. I'll take this down. You don't actually. You're playing the Tetris terms. You're not actually using these. You got these Tetris gym cartridges, which I haven't. I don't have one. Let's put it that way. There seems to be a lot of different versions on it. I guess you could pick whatever level, training. I guess what is all on that thing?
Yeah,
I mean, you have them.
So yeah, Tetris Gym
Mm-hmm.
is made by Kuryava. Yeah, he developed this cartridge, and it's a gym, so it's meant to help Tetris players who want to get really good to be able to work out different modes. And there's a whole list of different modes that you can play, such as you can play invisible Tetris, where the pieces disappear when they hit the bottom, or checkerboard, where a big checkerboard stack appears on the screen and you have to try to clear it. There's a specific training for piece movement
Mhm.
to make sure that you're able to get the pieces over certain obstacles consistently. Yeah, it can track the hertz, which is like how fast you're moving the pieces. It will kind of give you a number so that you know if you're tapping or rolling fast enough. And then you could like have it, you could like make it set up like a wall on the left side of the Tetris board, and your goal is to just try to get the long bars over there, because that's like a really key move in the game to be able to get pieces all the way over to the left side. It's the most difficult move in terms of piece movement. And then or you could practice like spins. You could like practice T spins, S spins, all kinds of things. Yeah, and so you can also have the ability to start on any level you want. So for a lot of us, that means you could start right on kill screen, and you could just play starting on level 29. And that's what a lot of players do uh, to get really good at that speed, because you can't do that on the
To learn how to
original
do
game.
this.
Yeah,
To learn.
that, or even for myself, even playing the old school DAS play style, I train a lot on kill screen myself to try to expand the possibilities of what I can do, and also to get faster reflexes.
Cole?
Yeah, and then I think another part that Meister didn't really touch on is Tetris Gym is the main way that we're able to play competitively, while
yes.
not being in the same like room.
Yeah.
So Tetris Gym essentially allows us to put in a certain seed, and then you can play with the same pieces in the same order as someone who's all the way across the country, and it allows us to play and compare our scores together also in all the online tournaments. And then in addition, because like we said earlier, people were making it so far in the game, they added a way to implement a line cap so that after a certain amount of time the game will stop, so that it pushes the focus back on being efficient instead of just surviving forever and ever. So the current line cap format is when you get to level 29, that's where it starts getting the consistent fast speed. But when you get to level 39, we've actually doubled the speed so that it's barely playable. You might get some lines occasionally or a Tetris, but it essentially creates a new kill screen so that games only last, say, 15 minutes instead of hours.
So it's not last man standing, it's how many Tetrises you can get before a certain point.
Yeah.
And score doesn't matter so much. Well, score does matter, but you
Lines
can't
don't.
score more than you can score more than 1,000,000, I guess, to win a battle before it tops. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think the kind of the new max out or 1,000,000 points has kind of become around 1.6 million is like the higher end of what you'll see in tournaments. That's actually where, because we use hexadecimals to count the score, that's where it'll roll over back to 0. So that's kind of the new big threshold for players to get in competition where it's like, oh, if you see 2 of those in one game, then that was like a remarkable good game on competition.
Now the seating thing was interesting. So I haven't really noticed, but is everybody, when the Classic World Tetris tournaments, is everybody playing on the same seed where they get the same order of blocks every game when they play against each other head to head?
Yeah, so you'll always see people getting the same pieces just to make it fair so that you can kind of remove the luck factor.
I didn't even notice. All this time, did not notice. So I'm going to ask you about a few other Tetrises that I saw. I don't know if you recognize this game. This is I guess, the black sheep of the Tetris family. Tetris 2 for the NES. I haven't heard anything good about this game. Have you ever played this? I've seen the commercials. I remember that.
No, I've only seen bits and pieces of it. I've never really played the game. It looks like it has more of a gravity feel to it, though it's kind of hard to tell.
There's like
Huh.
bombs in it. There's
Yeah.
the ad where somebody holds a copy of, oh, I got Tetris 2 for my birthday, and then explodes on them, and it like blows up in their face or something, like Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. It's it's weird, and yeah, I don't quite get the mechanics of this either.
It
Obviously, you're not clearing lines.
looks more similar to Dr. Mario, where you're matching certain amounts of colors. So you can see they're getting 3 at a time,
Yeah,
and with the colors.
Right.
like columns,
Mm-hmm.
which is is a game that I'm actually better at than Tetris.
You're talking about Dr. Mario?
No, columns
Oh, columns. Okay.
by Sega Genesis. For the Sega Genesis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm better at that than Tetris. Of course, I only have to like clear 3 jewels or get 3 jewels together, and then it will take out, and maybe I'll get lucky and it takes out a bunch of jewels all at once. Like this silly thing. This thing ever loads up. I'm on Wi-Fi, so a little bit of a delay factor here. Yeah. This was the main game I played at the Sega Genesis college tournament back in 1990. We had 3 minutes to clear as many jewels as we could. Although the 3-minute version only had 4 colors, this has 6. Have you played this one?
Mice, have you played it?
Oh, yeah, I haven't played this version. I think an adjacent like modern version of this game it looks a little bit like Puyo Puyo. where like you have to again match by color, and like you enter the piece from the top and you try to match them. It's really cool here that you can match them diagonally too, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
never played this. I've only seen it.
Yeah, when I got a Genesis, yeah, this was one of the games I had on with the system, and played for quite a while. Although the good thing about this, you can hit the pause button and the screen doesn't blank out, and then you can plan where you're going to drop the jewel when it's
Oh,
going extremely fast.
oh wow.
Tetris, it blanks out the screen entirely. I can pull up Puro, although it's Dr. Rob. Although the home version is for the Dr. Robotnik's
Dr.
Mean
Robotnik's Green
Bean
Bean
Machine,
Machine,
also
yeah.
known as Kirby Avalanche if you're playing it on a Super NES. Oops, I gotta jump it. There we go.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have played this. Yeah.
Although Galvin Ghost Arcade does have the arcade version of this.
Nice.
Under its original Japanese name. They just replaced all the characters. Gosh, get to the gameplay here. Creep, we want to see it. Well, enough. We'll go back to some of these puzzle games that are out there. Cole, describe. So you became brain freeze. We get to take care of that.
Really.
You played in several Tetris tournaments over the last couple of years. You had your you had your breakthrough moment where you won in Philadelphia. Can you describe, kind of take us through how that weekend progressed and getting through the bracket and getting to the final and then going head to head for the championship?
Yeah. So Philadelphia, going into it, it was definitely a lot harder than Philadelphia was last year, and I think for this season it's one of the harder regionals. Not to be biased, but in terms of who was there, I mean, we had 3 top 10 players in the world. It was Meme, who placed second at World Championships this year. There was Tristop, who placed in the top 8. I was there. I placed 10th, and yeah, this is the finals. So Meme on the right there, she's placed second in the big championships this year. But going into it, I wanted to win really badly because Philly is my home state. I live in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
So I really have been wanting to prove that I'm the best player who lives in Pennsylvania. And I thought, okay, if I can win this tournament, that would really be a deciding moment in that kind of chapter of my Tetris career. And going into it, I actually ended up playing really well. This was stats-wise the best tournament I've ever had. I think on average I scored 1.3 millions around every single game. But also just the people that were there, a lot of them I was friends with, so it was also, I didn't feel too much pressure. I was kind of just, thinking through it, going in with a strategy, and then just doing my best to execute. Meme was by far the hardest match of the tournament. I mean, you can see here a lot of the kill screen play. It's super intense. She's probably top 5 players in the world for a reason. But yeah, being able to pull through in this match and execute on the plan that I had set in stone is definitely the best feeling in probably all my Tetris career so far.
Level
But yeah.
31. Good night. Look at you guys go. Mimi is the fifth highest ranked player in the world, you said?
Yeah, Meme is generally considered top 5 in the world.
And no, there's been always a wonder, where are all the top girl gamers in, because it seems to be always dominated by the boys. And I'm pleased to see that we have a lady who is just killing it here.
Yeah, I mean that's the nice thing. Tetris doesn't discriminate. It's going to give you bad pieces whether you're a guy or a girl. So definitely anyone can be at the top.
Where's she from?
Minneapolis, without getting
Okay.
into further specifics, but
Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
have to be. You don't have
Oh
to.
wow.
Oh, look at that. Level 35.
Oh,
Level 35.
nice.
And won by won by 180,000. And this is this is round number 3. So now we're going. So it's best of 5. I guess we're taking a break here. I'll just advance it here. There we go.
yeah, game 5. It went all the way to game 5. So it was definitely anyone's game. Meme played really well this match, but I think I just played that much better, and at the end of the day, that's what makes the difference. So
Now there was when I looked this match up, or looked up your Tetris achievements, this had like tiers. There was like an A tier, B tier, S tier. This happened to be, I believe, B tier. What does the tiers represent for
Oh.
somebody like me that doesn't know?
yeah, so the tiers generally represent, like, if you're grading tournaments by difficulty,
Mhm.
S tier would be the hardest possible tournament, but it's also ranked on prestige. So
Mhm.
generally, the S tier tournaments would be things like the World Championships in California, which is the big tournament, or what's called Mega Masters, which is the biggest online tournament. And then regionals are never S tier tournaments, I don't think. So A tier, which this year's Columbus, Ohio regional was an A tier, it's like you have the best of the best there. It's one of the hardest tournaments to win. And then B tier is like slightly below that. And then C tier would be like, oh, there might be one top tier player there. And then I don't know if it goes lower than that, but
I mean, kind of like C tier would be for the more amateur, not as high level player like me entering this tournament, and kind of,
yeah,
I
it's
don't know,
it's
average.
generally
The tournament of the average players, I guess.
yeah, it's a good indicator of, like, if you see, okay, this person won this tournament, and then you can get a good feel of how difficult it was without having to go look at who was there in other contexts.
Although, if you're playing the number 5 player in the world, I have to imagine that it had to be a pretty high level tournament.
Yeah, I would give this at least an A if that's just me. I don't make the rules, but this is at least an A's worth of effort, Cole.
Although you don't know who's going to enter until you arrive at the venue.
Yeah. Generally, we have attendance lists so that you have a good feel of who's going. And then also organizers can plan ahead for how many people they're going to have. But
And here we go. It's looking like, yeah. And this, I'm going to assume she wins this round because
yeah.
this is round number 3, and if this is like
Uh,
game match point, if you don't, she has to win this round to make this thing continue. So
well,
and
I
she's
mean,
got,
it's still anyone's game still because
yeah.
of playing on the kill screen. Really, so many things could happen, but
Yeah.
it is a
But
pretty
we already
large
know
lead.
it's best of 5. So
Yeah.
or it went to
Right.
game 5. But yeah.
I'll give her due. I want to see. I may have to skip ahead because this.
Yeah.
Actually, I can speed this up. Drop 1.5.
Yeah. If you
Make
want
it
to
look. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
this is the full stream. So if you want to see like the ending moment, it's probably going to be around like 5:18, 5:20. If it's
Yeah, this is 5 hours and a half.
yeah.
That's a long stream.
Yeah.
Who else was at this particular tournament of notoriety? Do you remember?
Yeah, so there was, as I mentioned, there was me, Meme, Tristop, who placed in the top 8, Sodium, who placed, I actually beat Sodium at the World Championships, but he's in like the top 20 players as well. Huffaluffagus, who's also in the top 20. Hydrant Dude, who I'd say is in top 20. And then Fractal, who was the 2023 world champion, although as many players are now, he's had to deal with college. So I think he's not really slacked off, but just had less free time. So he's kind of not been able to put in as much time, but he's still definitely ranked top 15 in the world if you were to actively play, I think.
That's my biggest problem. Lack of free time. There's so many scores I lost, and I don't have time to practice before I go back up to Chicago to chase the scores again.
Right.
Boy, look at this. Where are we at? Oh, she's at level 30, so she's 2 levels ahead. Now you just finally reached 29, and boom, here we go. Super speed.
When you're behind this far, you can see I'm behind 300,000 points. It's kind of like you just have to go for it, especially against a player like Meme. So I think knowing I had a 1-game lead, I kind of just gave it my all, and it's like if I can do it, I can do it. If not, worst case, I have another game to give. So
Mhm.
It's basically survived longer than she does at this point, correct?
yeah, well, there's the line cap that I mentioned at level 39. So
Yeah.
there's
Also,
definitely a lot of
okay, so in this battle here, if either one of you got to level 39, it's game over.
Oh.
yeah. So I was still behind about 230,000 with maybe 4 levels left to go. So it would have been a very close chase down if I was able to go for it.
Although you were
Yeah.
at 34 and she finished at level 36, so you actually had 5, and she was down her last 3 levels. But either way, so you won it all at the end. I mean, and you finally got that. I'm gonna skip ahead towards the final of this match.
Yeah, feel free.
Let's
It's a
go.
pretty long
Whoops.
segment.
I went too far.
There we go. This is right at the end.
Closing moments.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Meme
Yeah,
was
Maestro, you didn't have a. It's like your finish in Kansas City, and we'll get to that in a moment.
Yeah.
Wasn't as hair raising as this one was.
Yeah.
You kind of had it a little easier, or I kind of think you did. But there it is. Cole is the winner of the Philly tournament, and nice big crowd there. What convention was this?
this was the Too Many Games Expo in Philly, the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center. So it was a pretty big regional, or a pretty big convention.
So what are your thoughts? I mean, you won this. You finally had your breakthrough. You got immortalized. What came next? What from there? Where do you go from here?
Yeah, I mean, this was kind of the moment. This was late June this summer. This is kind of the moment where I felt like, okay, if I have my best day, I could probably beat anyone playing the game. I mean, beating the top 5, the 5th best player in the world, there's not much left to go. So for a while, I mean, it's an ambitious goal, but being one of those top 5 players, it puts it into my mind that I definitely can do that. So now it's just putting in the work. And there will be many future regionals. Actually, this weekend there's a regional in Cleveland that both me and Micetro are going to. So
Yes.
that's going to be a fun one.
That would be, and I've got the slide for it, which I'll pop up here because I was going to plug it since it's this weekend. I would like to go. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a drive.
Mm.
I know my sister does live there, but there's the other issue is I have two cats and one of them is on antithyroid medication, which is a bit of an issue because she's supposed to have it every day. And a lot of times she gets it every other day, or some of the time she gets it like skipped days. This is it. The
Yeah.
Cleveland Gaming Classic. Maestro, you're not going to this, right? Or are you?
Oh, I am. Yeah.
You
and
are. You're both going
yeah.
there. So we could see you in a head-to-head matchup. The both
Well,
of you.
so this one is actually, so it's not technically a Classic Tetris World Championship regional. It's run by another Classic Tetris event called Classic Tetris Wars. It was started by Grand Designs, and he had this idea of making these really awesome, epic Classic Tetris competitions that didn't just feature head-to-head battles, but had 8 players playing against each other at the same time. And so
Last
and
man standing.
so the way it works is the 8 players play 8 games, and
Mm-hmm.
then each game um, they get ranked based on how they scored that game. And first
Mm-hmm.
place gets 10, second place gets 8, third place gets 6, and so on and so forth. And eighth place gets 0. And they play 8 games. So it was kind of this like, it brings this epicness and this endurance to Classic Tetris instead of just having the regular one-on-one best out of 3 or best out of 5
So it
tournaments.
is basically play for high score and rank to get ranking points.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with that format. All right. To you, and I had to pull up trying to find the Kansas City matchups. I had to pull it up on Twitch because I don't think they've moved it over to YouTube. I had it up on my screen a second ago. What happened to it?
The
I
replays
think
are available on YouTube. I
yeah,
could
I searched for it and I didn't get it. Let me
yeah,
see
I
if
could
this
link
one
it
is the
to
one.
you.
Oh, here we go. This is it. Oops, wrong one. Um, get this screen back up here. Here we go. This is yeah. Where are we?
Yeah. So,
Well, you're already up 2-1 here. Where we join this in, but go ahead and describe this.
well, so I think the first clarification I want to make is that there were 2 champions at the Kansas City Retro for the Classic Tetris World Championship regionals. The Saturday event, there was a tournament for the open playstyles, which includes rolling and hyper tapping. And Blue Scooty won that one handily, hand over fist. Um, and so the one that I won was on Sunday, and this was for the DAS only tournament, which means you have to play within the limits, the natural limits of the game. You cannot tap the pieces faster than what is naturally allowed. Yeah.
No rolling allowed.
Yeah, and so that's why my finals here look quite a lot different from what Cole went through in his final.
Unless you were playing against Thor Ackerland and then he could still move the pieces fast enough the normal way.
Well,
Um,
so I think the way that this is set up is that Thor's hyper tapping would also not be allowed because even though he does hold the controller the normal way, this specific playstyle doesn't allow you to have any kind of way of kind of passing the threshold of what the DAS um, allows you to do.
okay.
Yeah.
Um, and you beat Blue Scooty.
Yeah.
You
If
beat him on the way. You scored a major upset, or at least that's how it was, I guess, billed as a major upset.
well, it was. I consider it a major upset as well. So, Blue Scooty is like really, he's like top, you know, three players. Some may say top player in the world at the rolling play style, but he is a master DAS player as well. In the
And
quality,
broke Tetris and crashed Tetris.
well, that was with the rolling play style.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
for historically, he was the one who crashed Tetris first.
Yes, yeah, yes. Um, and so, but he was still the heavy favorite for this one because he did so well in the qualifying. And
Mhm.
like in the qualifying, he maxed out 6 times, which nobody else was anywhere close to except I think DMJ maxed out like 4 times or something. But
Mhm.
Blue Scooty was far and away like had the best qualifying session, and it looked like he was just gonna run away with it because I mean even on my best day, I have never had a day where I maxed out 6 times. That to me is just insane, and he was just popping them out uh, left and right. So like he clearly knows how to get a million points very very often. Like as long as the game goes like kind of well, the pieces are not too bad. He could probably get a max out even with DAS. So I knew that he was the player to beat. Um,
So how did you pull it off?
so um, I knew that I kind of played into just being the underdog, right? So
Mhm.
I knew that I had less pressure to win because I felt that you know if I could just get this win, like if I could just like put up a good fight, then
Mhm.
at least you know I can hang my hat on that. I also have been I've been training a lot. I've actually been kind of playing fewer matches this year. I
Mhm.
think I don't think I've quite hit 10 matches played like online this year. I've just really been training on my own and with my
Mhm.
good friends online. Um, and I've been getting, you know, advice from a lot of players as well. And also just friends who you know my roommate and who watches me play, my girlfriend who watches me play all the time. They're always you know chiming in and giving me encouragement. So I've been kind of more behind the scenes, and I really wanted to use that to my advantage because I think a lot of people don't really know what I am capable of. And so I knew that I knew what I was worth. I knew that I may not be able to like max out all the time, but
Mhm.
I knew the sort of mentality that you need to have to play consistent in these matches. And I knew that as long as I did not get intimidated by trying to, you know, max out or try to have these high scores, if I just played my own game, I would have a good
Mhm.
chance at beating basically anybody with this DAS uh, in the DAS format because yeah, they call DAS the great equalizer. So
Mhm.
um, it takes like piece movement, your ability to move the pieces really fast, kind of out of the equation, and so it becomes a game of pure stacking and decision making. And I knew that if it came down to that, I could beat anybody on a good day. And so against Blue Scooty, which was actually the semifinals match, it was tough. I actually had lost to him in a 3-0 sweep at this very same tournament last year, and also in the semifinals. I lost to him 3-0. I didn't really put up. I put up an okay fight, but I was very clearly not going to. I wasn't close at all that day. Um, so I kind of used that though to kind of motivate myself. I was like, okay, this will be a good like full circle moment for me. Like I worked so hard this past year, and this is a chance where I can show um, show myself really that all that hard work had paid off. Um, and so I just stuck to my game, and what I noticed right away was that Blue Scooty was screen looking. He was looking at my screen every 3 seconds or so. At first, it was distracting, but then I started to feel that this might actually play into my advantage because he's spending so much energy looking at my game. Um, and my
Isn't that a
strategy,
bad idea? Because if you're not looking at your screen and you're looking at your opponent's screen while those pieces are coming down very fast, you're gonna botch it and put it in the wrong spot, or it just you miss a placement.
yeah. So I think Blue Scooty is so good that he has the mental like capacity to do that. Like he could screen look and still like have the reaction and computing power to be able to make the decisions with his pieces. Like he's really cracked. Um, but even still, yes, I still knew that that does require some extra processing power for your brain. One thing I realized that he may have been looking for also was the next pieces.
Hmm.
So remember how like Cole had brought up earlier that we're all playing on the same piece sets. So
Yeah,
and I was pushing down my pieces, which means that my game would run a little bit ahead, whereas Blue
yeah.
Scooty was not pushing down. And so I think also that Blue Scooty might have been trying to see if the long bars were coming or not, to try to predict if the droughts were going to happen. Um,
How can
and so
you even? How? I I would be zoned on the game and nothing else. I would not be looking at anything else. I just like. By the way, if you press down when a piece is falling, you get some points out of that.
right, yeah, that's
I
true. Yeah, it's a very it's a very back and forth debate. If you could skip back, actually, we could look at the
so I have to
semifinals.
go. Let me back. So I had this was actually broken up into pieces, and that was the last piece of it. I gotta mute this thing. There we go. Backtrack a little bit. I have to get around these Brazil things. Oh, this was. Oh gosh, they broke this thing up. I think there were some
Yeah,
technical
so
difficulties.
here,
This is the
um,
last one.
I'll put a YouTube link in the chat.
Okay,
Yeah, that will
here's
have
you in
the.
here. Was this a fatal four way?
So this was there's two one-on-one battles going on at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I could, yeah, that thing's delayed. Copy link. I'll just throw this in here. Here we go. All right. Where should I jump to? This is the DAS qualifier.
Yeah.
Your match was where, or how far do you think?
Oh wait, I might have given you the wrong one.
Yeah, this is the Yeah,
This
this
is
is the
this was the
qualifier.
other station. No, this was the other station's feed.
Yeah. I'll wait for that to come in. But
Yeah, give me one.
Okay. Cole, what's your thoughts on this, on Maestro's win?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think everyone kind of just expected Scooty to win, but when it's Das, I mean, anything can happen. It's a very fragile play style, I think, because if you only make a couple mistakes, your game can really end just in any moment. So I think the strategy of just trying to play your own game and be consistent really can hold true for DAS players, especially when you're playing against other DAS players. So I think, yeah, just not going for anything too risky. I mean, I watched this live when it happened, and I mean, Maestro played really good. He played really consistent. I think he definitely earned the win. Casey.
Here we go. This is the fatal four-way. Scooty on top. Oh no, Scooty's on bottom.
Yeah. Yeah. So what happened here was I was playing really well. I was pacing really well before transition. I always had like a little bit of a lead, and so I was able to put some pressure on Scooty to try to play more aggressively on post transition to like try to go for the max out. And so I was able to get a 2-0 lead, and then but in my mind I kind of knew that Scooty wasn't just going to take a sweep laying down. So I kind of mentally prepared that this might end up going up 5 games. I still tried to win every game, but I topped out early in game 3, um, which meant that we were at a 2-1. And then uh, in game 4, uh, we had a really, really good game, but he ended up getting a max out, and I had like 830,000 or so. Um, but basically, when I knew I was down by a lot, I actually kind of used less um, of my brain, less processing power when I knew that I had that extra game. Kind of like the situation that Cole had in his final. But when I had the 2-0 lead, I kind of uh, I just wanted to make sure that I got to the kill screen to make Scooty use as much mental energy as possible, so that when I got to the 2-2, I was ready for it, and I was just I felt like I actually got to like take a little bit of a break at the end of game 4, so that I was ready for game 5. Um, and basically, the moment I really want to highlight was the like towards the end of game 5, after we hit the transition.
I think this reset because you're up 2-1 and
Yeah.
this.
I think they may have we're still clearing the score counters from a previous match.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, the real star of the show has arrived. As you, if you've noticed that a furball decided to
Yeah. Yeah.
enter the podcast, and he's sitting on my lap, and he was licking my leg.
Oh. Yeah, I did see.
Cody, yeah, he's crashed the stream yet again. That's what
Oh.
he does. He thinks he's the star of this show. You know, he's never picked up a game controller.
Absolutely. We love our cats.
And I don't know what his favorite game would be if he could, but I think it would be a game like Flicky, which makes a cameo in another Tetris variant called Bloxy by Sega,
Oh, nice.
which is an arcade game. Um, yes, we're looking. Okay, so what do we got here?
Game 1.
Oh
So
gosh, you're almost. God, can't just slip down off my lap. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, we're
so
both
let's
over 400,000 here on the bottom here. Who's up top? DJ, DMJ, and then Matt
yeah.
Martin, your other nemesis, I think.
Yeah. Well, um DMJ is really cool. Yeah, he was low key telling me that he really was hoping that I would win, even though he was in the tournament himself.
He wanted somebody else. So what? So he wanted someone else to win other than himself. That's rare.
I think.
I think.
Well, I think it's us Tetris players. We really root for each other. At the end of the day, um, like Cole said, like we do want to win, but
Mhm.
at the end of the day, like we're all on the same side, and we
Right.
really root for each other and the stories and the struggles that we've been through to get to this point. Especially with how brutal Tetris is. Like anybody that goes through this game for any extended period amount of time knows like how hard and how earned every single moment of achievement is. And so um it's just amazing to go through that journey with so many other people. And so I think there's some players that we tend to gravitate towards because there's something in their journey, in their story of how they got there, that we really find very that we identify with, and we really like to like we use that to like inspire us to do what we do.
Scooty lost here at level 21, which is kind of early. Usually you're like getting up to 28 or 29 before topping out, or well, almost always getting to level 29 before topping out, and boom, he went down kind of early.
Yeah, so well, I'd say with the DAS play style, topping out anywhere between 20 and 29 is a lot more common,
Mhm.
because you're trying to stack for Tetrises, but it's easier to have it get out of control. And I think Scooty, he's so good that most of the time he can
Mhm.
like stack as if he was still rolling even as a DAS player. He has the mental capacity to do so. But I think in some respects maybe he was making it a little more complicated for himself than he needed it to be at some points on his side.
Jump this ahead. Um, so, oh God. I talked to you after you won.
Yeah.
I told you what you might feel after winning, having your breakthrough moment, winning a major tournament for the first time ever. How true was my words that you were going to feel euphoric and be thinking about it for days and kind of think about it in bed, pretty
No,
much?
I definitely did that like every single day last week. Um and sometimes I still I still think about it just because like I never really like expected it, even though I knew like I had trained for it, but to have it actually happen is yeah, I still like struggle to really describe what that feels like. Yeah, and yeah, so I don't know. I guess all I can say is yeah, you were definitely right on the money.
So here's like, so we're getting close to 11 o'clock your time because you're both on Eastern time zones. I have a few other kind of not Tetris questions, but I'm just curious. Um, what other games do you regularly play that you're good at besides Tetris? We'll start with Cole.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, besides Tetris, I really only play games for fun, and usually when I play them for fun, it's like multiplayer games. So, as I said earlier, I still play Minecraft pretty often,
Mhm.
just because it's nice to hop on with some friends and just de-stress. You know, maybe after a long week, Because you can really, at the capacity we play it at, it's kind of hard to play more than one game competitively. So yeah, it's a nice break. I also play a lot of Nintendo games like Mario Kart, or single player story games are also fun. Like the new Donkey Kong's fun. Yeah, really just anything to get my mind off of things, without having to stress about I need to be this good or I need to be practicing 2 hours a day to make sure I'm not losing anything. But
I wish I could. I wish I could have practiced 2 hours on a game, but
yeah, I mean, I'm currently in college, so it's definitely a balancing act, but I think I'm still finding enough time where I don't feel like I'm getting any worse at least at Tetris, and I can also have a game to kind of de-stress on with my friends.
I know that about every game con, the games that are always there's always a tournament on. It's Tetris, Mario Kart, any fighting game, and Smash Bros, which also is a fighting game. That's pretty much it. I want my and pinball. I didn't even ask. Do you play pinball, Cole? Have you played any before?
I like to play it at conventions. Actually, it was funny. At this last weekend, I went to the Hartford Expo for a tournament. But me and my friend, we like to do it where one of us controls one pinball, like I don't know what you call it, like the flipper, and then the other person controls. Yeah, and then the other person controls the other. It's definitely a really fun way to play.
Yeah,
like co-op.
There's a pinball tournament that does it like that, where it's tag team.
Oh, that's cool.
I know Murphy's in St. Louis does pinball tournaments, but a stipulation on each tournament, and there's a title belt on the line, which I haven't been able to get on. I want more belts around my waist. I have a few. Shoot. Micetro, are there any games that you regularly play besides Tetris that you enjoy or are good at?
Honestly, I find myself like really busy with just life in general. I don't really play that many games, honestly. Um I love the pinball though. My girlfriend and I love to go to the we have an arcade here, and it has like retro games in the back. It has all kinds of you could play like the original Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man. It has all that stuff, but then it also has things like skee ball. It has a a bowling alley with like smaller balls. It's called duck pin bowling. It has you could play what's it, cornhole. You could get like you toss the bean bags.
Through the hole. Yep.
They have giant Jenga just like in the middle, for fun. They have hooky where you throw the rings onto the pegs.
Is this
the
an up
target.
down place?
An up down place?
Up down arcade?
It's called Pins Mechanical Company.
We have one of those where I live. Yeah, it's really fun.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I love going there. Yeah. And they have pinball machines, and I would do that with my girlfriend, where one of us is on one side of the flipper. So yeah, we really liked the Hot Wheels pinball machine where you could get different cars and stuff.
Yeah, next month I'm going to the Pinball Expo, and they've got some new ones coming out. That's the home of Stern Pinball. This guy's whining again.
Oh.
Well, all the big big wigs in pinball seem to head up to Chicago in October, and this is year 41 for that convention. I'm about to be rejoined by. Well, I thought he was going to hop in my lap, but he's just sitting there. Yep, here he comes. You want your camera time? Here's your camera time. You goof.
Yay!
Anyway, any arcades you've been to? I know my favorite place to go is Galloping Ghost Arcade. Have you been to any major arcades in your neck of the woods?
Oh, I think like Maestro said, Pins is definitely it's an arcade style place that I go to a lot because it has a lot of the stuff is actually free to play. It has
Yeah.
Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, stuff like that. I think round one is also kind of arcade-ish, but also has like bowling
Yeah.
and stuff. But we've been to those sometimes when we do have Tetris tournaments, we'll try and hang out like on the Friday or Sunday. But we sometimes we'll go to arcades and those are really fun.
I know Pennsylvania has Pinball PA, which is 400 machines. A few hundred pinball machines in there too, as part of their lineup. I didn't even ask you, Meister, where are you from?
Oh, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only
So-
one I know of down there is like the 16-bit bar. And then there's some pinball place close to where my sister lived. But I didn't get to really explore the city too much apart from, well, there was a reason for that. There was a blizzard when I went up there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we do.
I
get
did make it
Big
to the Christmas Story house.
Oh,
that was-
great. Okay. Oh man, I haven't been there yet. Yeah. But no, I definitely need to go there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the ownership of that place has changed hands fairly in the last couple of years.
I did hear about that. Yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't gone, yeah, you better go there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, could you ever make it to Galloping Ghost Arcade? I know you kind of shown interest in making a trip over to Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, well, making trips to Chicago, that's always a great time. Chicago is great. So, yeah, that just adds to another thing that we might do if we go there. Yeah.
Cole, do you think you ever make it out to Chicago?
Yeah, actually, a couple times there's been a Illinois regional. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily in Chicago, but it's near there. It's in Urbana, Champaign.
Yeah.
But definitely, it didn't end up happening this year. I don't know that I would have gone anyways, but I think if Illinois championship returns, I'll probably make an attempt to make it out to that area, and then maybe also go to Galloping Ghost. We'll see.
Has there been? I don't think this classic Tetris World Championship gone to Chicago, or they basically gone to Champaign Urbana.
It's been Champaign every time. I think it's happened 3 times. The regional there.
I'm surprised they didn't go to Chicago ever yet, or haven't gone yet.
They almost did this year, but it ended up not working out with the expo, I think. So.
Although there's another game con that I think they should maybe book going to is Illinois Game Con in nearby Bloomington Normal, which would be held in June. Missouri Game Con in St. Louis would be another option. Missouri Game Con is about the same size as KC Retro, I think, in terms of size. Shoot. Any future goals? Cole, you go first.
I mean, it's ambitious, but the goal from the very beginning has always been to be the best. But I think in a general perspective, I just want to get better. Even when you're the best, there's still room to improve. So I mean, World Championships in 2026, who knows what could happen, but I think definitely balancing college with also practicing and getting better. I just want to see how far I can go. I mean, I've made it this far, so who knows?
Maestro? I kind of jumped this video ahead to kind of get to the conclusion.
Yeah, so um yeah, what I want to highlight, yeah, the ending of this game is great, but the ending of game 5 is
Oh, it went to
really,
5. Okay. I
yeah, it
didn't know
went to
that.
yeah.
Let's skip this ahead because it topped out here. Here we go.
Yeah, keep going a little more.
Oh, you want to go further? All right.
Yeah, basically to the end of the game.
Oh God. Okay. Here we go. Oh, here we go. 1-on-1.
Yeah, so yeah, right here, this is perfect. Something insane happens here at the end of this game.
All right. While this is in play, would you like to get a trading card? A video.
Sure.
I have to get. These are the Walter Day trading cards. I believe they do have. I don't know how many Tetris cards. Oh, here we go. Something
Yeah.
happened here. Can you
So
back it up? I want to see the replay of that.
yeah, so if you see there's a counter that's counting the droughts on the
Mhm.
bottom next to where I'm holding the controller. You can see that the number went all the way up to 54. Um and that's my girlfriend hugging me. So
And Scooty had 34 pieces fall.
yeah, so we entered the same drought and the drought killed him. I managed to make it to the end of it. It was a 54 piece drought, which is an insane drought to survive on post level 19 play. So
And you're on the
that
same seed, right?
yes, yeah, we have the same pieces.
Yeah, and look at that number go up.
Yeah, and I had to pull a lot of like there's like a quick tap that you have to do to get the piece to go over just a little more when you're playing with this playstyle. I like did it over and over again. So
Wow.
yeah, that's what it took to beat Blue Scooty, a very statistically unlikely drought.
Incredible. Shoot. Well, it's 11 o'clock your time. I didn't want to keep you too late.
All right. Yeah, you were asking me of like my goals and for the future.
I was going to ask about other Tetris players, but I don't think, unless you want to stay longer.
Yeah, well, I'll keep it short, but you know, obviously like Cole, I want to continue to improve at Tetris in general. Um I broke 1.2 million last year, hoping to break 1.3 million at some point. Um More than that though, I have my own Tetris group. It's called Big Daddy Tetris.
Hmm.
I founded it a couple years ago. It was kind of like my it's kind of like my own uh, movement to just kind of have another community where other players could hang out. Oh my goodness, this is
Yes,
not.
I found
Yeah,
that. And
yeah,
I wondered if Tetris players cut promos against each other, kind of like
yes,
because I've cut promos against other Bloody Wars players. I've cut promos
yeah,
against my rivals, and here we go. This is you and all your glory cutting a promo against fellow Tetris players, and there were title belts involved.
yeah. You'll want to talk to someone in the Tetris community named Kingsman about this. If you love Tetris promos and um, Tetris personalities and friendly matches that turn a little bit
Not so
to
friendly.
yeah, exactly. There's a huge Kingsman 36. He founded this classic Tetris friendlies and yeah, we it's basically he promotes people, he helps people find their personality in yeah, it's really it really helped out a lot of us players. Cole was a huge part of it as well yeah, he had different tiers. Championship belts were on the line, and yeah, for a while there, a couple years ago, I was very frustrated, because I really loved the DAS playstyle, and I felt that the focus was, shifting away from DAS,
Mhm.
and I was upset about it. And it felt like the rolling. I understood that rolling was hard, but it just felt so cheap. To just be able to move the pieces that fast. And so I kind of really I built I kind of built myself into that personality for a while, and I was kind of the angry DAS Tetris player, and I coined it the DAS Revolution. Um, and so it's been a couple years since then, and I've kind of come around and calmed down a lot. I felt that I just needed to go through that phase, but then to come back around and just reconnect with people, and to just enjoy the process instead of being so angry, and
Cutting
kind of
promos is fun, though. I mean,
yeah. Oh yeah. I'm definitely
the
not done.
wrestling business certainly rubbed off on gaming. That's
Yeah.
definite.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm not done cutting promos. There will be a time and place for it. But yeah, in general, like, over the years, I think the Tetris community is so good because any way that you want to play, people will listen and find a way to support you. And that's why there are more of these DAS tournaments popping up, as a side to the main open tournaments. And just I'm so happy that those things exist. And then last year they had the first Jonas Neubauer Cup, named after the late Jonas Neubauer, who was the ultimate pioneer of the DAS play
Yeah.
style. And so that is basically a world championship, but the DAS version. And they have one in the U.S. called the Jonas Cup, and they have one in Europe every year as well. So I'm just really thankful, that all of this stuff exists. Yeah.
Cole? If you would-
Yeah, I think Tetris Friendly is really, it's a place where new people can kind of find their storyline. It's kind of like you think, oh, it's only the top players who are kind of put in the spotlight, but I think Kingsman does a great job of
Yeah.
highlighting what's special about each individual person, and then also all of the like super shows where you have these big matches and matches for title belts. It's one of the best ways that anyone showcased the newer up and coming players. And I mean, he showcased me when I was starting my journey and getting better by the week almost.
Yeah.
And it's a very nice thing to have.
And I'm going to show off your YouTube channels. I had had your initials in there a minute. I just changed it to your nickname. Cole Bucket on YouTube and Cole Bucket #2 on Twitch. You have a Discord as well. Of course, you need an invite to get in there, but and Maestro's.
Yeah.
He's got a couple. One for gaming and one for classical music, and also for Twitch. Um, did I leave anything out? Oh, you're playing it. You're potentially gonna play against each other this weekend. Do you have anything you want to say to your opponent? Cut a promo, maybe?
I don't know, Mice. If you think you have a shot against the defending champion, bring it. I guess I don't. I mean, it's tough because Maestro is, as he mentioned, predominantly a DAS player, which basically means he's lazy at the game. No, I'm just kidding.
There you go.
But
There you go. Point taken.
no, but it's going to be a good tournament. There's a lot of good people going, and we'll see how each other fares. I hope we do good. So we'll see.
Yeah,
Micetro?
I've actually played Cole in these tournaments. I think twice, right?
I think so.
I mean, other than at last year's wars, I played you one time at a WPL in Columbus, and that was a really close one. It
That
went
was
down, yeah,
stressful.
yeah. That was a couple years ago.
Wonder
It came down
why
to
that-
like less than a
oh,
Tetris, and then I think you beat me pretty handily at Detroit. Um, a little whiles after that, but I've just been really impressed by how much you've improved. Like every time I see you, I feel like you improve by so much, and you're one of the players that I root for. Like when I watch CTWC, um, like I hope, like I've seen you grow over the last few years, and yeah, you can win CTWC. It will be your year one of these years.
Well, it's already been kind of that because he's already won Philadelphia. And that was his first major championship, right? Yes.
Yeah, that's where it starts. That's where it starts. Yes.
So for each of you, you're looking for your second championship.
Oh, well, I was referring to like the CTWC, the main
Yeah.
Yeah.
championship in California, and that's like the biggest title that you could win.
Yeah. I guess going off of that, Maestro, DAS Mega Masters is next month. So, how do you feel about that? I mean, do you think you will play?
Yeah, I'll definitely play, and actually this month I'm hoping to bring as many of my Big Daddy
Do that
Tetris
up there.
players. So like I've been doing a lot of training with Tsar Jordan. But I'm hoping that some more of our crew can make it. Poopy Old Hag, DMJ, um, Jedi Evan, uh, several, and I'm definitely missing some players, but we're all gonna make a run at it. We're gonna practice hard together and try to win the whole thing. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And you're really good at DAS yourself, so um, hope to see you in there too.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm putting in the hours, so we'll see.
Nice, nice. Very good.
One question. Have you ever considered chasing the world record? Because the third game on this is Tetris. I don't know if you know a guy by the name of Mega Retro Man
Yes,
Paul
we do.
Tessie.
Yeah.
He has the world record on
Correct.
this. He
Yeah.
uses a technique where he would build a tower right in the middle to where it's almost topped out, and then he would clear a line at the very top level of the screen, which would happen to wipe via a glitch the bottom line,
Yeah.
and that's got an insane score. Have you ever considered chasing the world record for the NES competition carts 19 or Nintendo World Championship 90 cart? Have you ever thought of challenging for this?
I mean, Mice, have you? I haven't really considered it, but
Yeah, I haven't thought about that just yet, but I mean I know that the kind of work and preparation and memorization that goes into that is like on a whole other level. So I know that that would be a lot to get into, but um definitely worth a shot at some point because I know that that's like the like flagship you know event when it comes to uh NES games. So
Although you would have to figure out how to speedrun Super Mario and then
exactly, yeah, you
clear
have to
Rad
play
Racer to have a lot of time left over for
for
Tetris.
Tetris.
And
Yeah,
plus, the first 30 some odd pieces are random, but after that, they're all the
they're
same.
all the same, so you have to memorize what to do. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically surviving the early part of Tetris and then chase it.
yeah.
I will continue to say I'm still in the shadow of Thoraculin. I will never hold the kid. I will always be the man who came after Thor, but not get as much. Although Thor kind of hid in the shadows. Um, I know he participated in the first
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
first one,
Yeah.
but after that, kind of disappeared. He kind of faded into the background, although he was also caring for his wife, who was not doing so well for a number of years, did not survive her illness. I went back and passed away in like 2017 or 2018, and he sold off his trophy to help raise money to cover her bills.
Oh wow. I
Yeah,
didn't know
there
that.
was. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I wanted to do. I went down to Dallas, Texas, to a game con put on by Christian Dithering, and he couldn't get off work. I was gonna meet him down there, and it didn't work out. Oh well, I'll meet him someday, maybe. We'll see. Well, anyway, anything you want to plug? I think this was it. I think we're at the end. Is there anything you want to plug before you get out of here?
Micetro.
Either one.
Yeah, not really. I think I think that will be all for now.
All right. Maestro, Cole, I want to thank you both for joining me. It's been a struggle to get guests lately, and I'm glad you stepped up and gave me a guest for this week because it's been a struggle. I don't know why. I was like on a run for a bit, and then boom, I'm hit a drought. Kind of like trying to get a 4-bar on Tetris.
Well, if you're ever interested in more Tetris, there's a lot of us who would love to share. And the great thing about Tetris community, everyone is super interesting. So you'll get a totally different perspective and story, no matter who you ask. So yeah, I could tell some people about you, and I'm sure they'd be interested.
Mhm.
All right, guys. Maybe I'll see you around the arcade soon, or maybe at another convention sometime in the future. Well, Midwest Gaming Classic is the big one. I know that's the one I go to every year, and I got a 21-year streak going. I know I haven't.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 21. Oh, I missed this comment. Very hard to remember. Yeah,
Oh, hey.
personal best is like 2 million. Yeah. Well, Paul Tessie racked up scores that were not even conceded 30 years ago. So go figure. All right. Cole, Maestro, have a good night.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us. It's a
Thank you
great
so
time.
much. Yes.
All right. Have a good night. All right. That was my Tetris panel. And I do have something to cover before I get out of here. I kind of teased it on the front end. There was a bit of a fuss after the KC Retro, and I'm going to cover this real quick. Get share screen. They did have a YouTube streamer out at the convention by the name of, I guess he calls himself Boogie 2989, I think is his gamer tag. He was at this Retro Game Con last about 5-6 days ago, or last weekend. I saw a post that somebody was kicked out, or wasn't kicked out. It was basically a message that they were aware of some social media posts that were, I guess, not kosher. And they learned some things that was said during a live stream, and that didn't go over well with the event organizers. In fact, this was the time where he would make a comment and pan the camera so cosplayers would be in the shot, and this is where he's looking at the cosplayers, a couple of female cosplayers, passed by his table heading towards another stand towards the back end of the convention floor. Yeah, he would make a comment that included that or make a comment where basically people were watching these live streams or watching cosplayers on live streams, and the M word was invoked. Um, kind of like basically viewers were gonna lust over the female cosplayers, and it didn't go over well. He also made a comment later, used people just buying games at these cons and used the R word in that sentence as well. But if it were just that alone, I mean, people make crass comments everywhere, the locker room, obviously in public, among their friends. But this wasn't a deal. Oh gosh, I got to get this off. It wasn't a deal where it was like Camelot 331, where he was not made uninvited to a game con. This was after the game con was over that the live stream was looked at. By the way, I make a cameo in this too later. I'm not at the time. I was not fully aware of what this stream was all about. By the way, Keemstar didn't help matters with some of his commentary. Um, I'm not looking to pick a fight with these guys, but I kind of understand why KC Retro would not want these guys back. There's me, kind of talking about my gaming achievements. I wasn't familiar with this podcast, but they were doing a live stream. They were talking to gamers, patrons at the convention. So I had to promote myself a little bit, and that's part of what you do at GameCon is basically talk. There was another podcast streamer out there too, and a little more um fam. I wouldn't say I don't know about family friendly, but and Cody is causing a problem in my lap. He's mad because I moved and because I got a little uncomfortable having my legs crossed and him being on top. Good grief. He's gonna take a shot at me at any second if he gets mad enough. Ugh. Yeah, behave yourself, little boy. Got the can of air and I'm gonna shoot you with it if you're not gonna behave yourself. Anyway, I need to get my slides back up. Stand by 1 second. But anyway, Boogie is not gonna be invited back next year. He's supposedly gonna be heading to Retropalooza, which is another game con somewhere. I don't know where. I kind of think that Locale Live would be more suited for. Oh gosh, where's my? Gosh, oh, I must have exited this thing. Drop this down. Boogie would be more suited for something like, I don't know, the Southern Fried Gaming Convention, but this was more of a family-friendly convention. So, well, he got to go to the Game Con and participate, but he did not do himself any favors, and I'll just leave it at that. I will not make a big deal out of this, but regardless, I enjoyed myself here at the Kansas City Retro, and then watched the finals, the final with Micetro winning it all here in KC. So let's do the quick rundown of the scores at Goblin Ghost Arcade. King Can Blackman raised Super Don Quizzotti even higher than it previously because his score was 1cc. So he found a way to even crank it up even higher, and he's closing in on 800,000. I don't know if I would assume that sacrificing lives would be the only way to get the score higher. So congratulations to Brandon Travis. And I made another typo here. Knuckle Bash, new house high for that. Taking that from, gosh, I believe Andrew Owasco. It was Pete Hahn. that took that score. You know what? I can edit that slide on the fly. All I have to do is go over here and change that. Yes, former two-time Gamer of the Year Pete Hahn. Put his name up there. That's what should be up there. Thank you. Pete Hahn got that score. Congratulations to him. JP Pitts. You know, there was a battle for the fastest speed on the track going between him and Dave Drazek, and JP Pitts went back to that game. He's been playing Power Stone 2 a lot, trying to get that score as high as possible. Well, he circled back to Sega All-Stars and got that score a little bit lower, that time a little bit quicker. Congratulations. Jamie Tibbetts. Haven't heard too much from him lately, but he played a game that's kind of like Lemmings. Kind of relates to that. It was a T20 game. 960K on that for a former Gamer of the Year. And then Andrew Owasco, of course, continues to raise high score terror. Taking Shinryu at 4.6 million. That was a T20 game, one of the new games that was in that tournament. He also raised the score on Lone Wolf and Cub. That's the English title for the Mitsubishi game known as Samurai Assassin. 95,000 points there. And Thunder Blaster, which you constantly have to tap fire. You can't take a break. Firing and your hand's going to wear out real quick. But his hand lasted long enough to rank up 2.2 million points on that. And the power rankings, Ben Falls is about to pass Zurst, but the top 15 the top 20 has not changed at all. But Ben Falls can move up a spot at some point. I'm somehow barely hanging on to number 10. And I have not been able to get back to Galpin Ghost Arcade and try to take some of my scores back. It's going to be a while before I try to get up past up above number 10. Arcade Wars Gigawing is is the game of the month, and right now it looks like One Up Arcade in Brisbane, Australia is got a big lead over everybody else. Yes, that arcade closed down for a bit, and they are back in action in a smaller scale. As I mentioned, the Cleveland Gaming Classic is this weekend. I will not be there, unfortunately. The Pinball Expo, I will be there for only 2 days this year. I'll be heading to Comic-Con. The Tater Tot Comic-Con in Melville, Missouri on the 18th, but I'll be up there the 16th and the 17th in Schaumburg, Illinois at the Renaissance Convention Center. I got to get a hotel room and buy 2-day passes. And, of course, the streak continues. 21 years. It's going to make it 22 very shortly. They skipped a year, by the way. Who am I going to have as my guest next week? So I do have somebody. It's Retro Randy. It's somebody local I know. I know him more from the wrestling business than I do in the gaming scene. So he buzzed in. He volunteered to come out to my pod this week, but Micetro buzzed in first, and I missed that private note. So I decided to be fair, I need a little more time to research Retro Randy, but I wanted to get Micetro and Cole in first and talk Tetris because that was the most recent thing that went on, and they're going to Cleveland Gaming Classic, so that will be next week. I will be rating the channel, so yeah, September 25th will be my next episode of the podcast. I am going to rate a channel. Who am I going to rate tonight? Oh, let's see who am I going to raid. Who's streaming? Gosh, there's a football game on too, and I need to see what the score is or what the final is for that. Oh my gosh, there's Forrest Wash is still going. He never takes a break. Um, One other person said something stupid, and he's gonna have to take the ban hammer for a bit until he apologizes for comments he made online that he shouldn't have made that I found inappropriate. Yeah, there's been a lot of chatter. By the way, I'm a little frustrated with certain people. I may have to cut an off-topic live stream. Gosh, hang on a second. All right. I'm going to raid Lick Arcade. He is playing Hollow Knight. A lot of people are playing this, and this has been getting some accolades of late. So I'll be raiding that channel tonight, and I'll hope to see you next week here on the Crimeycade. Till next time, I'm Max, Cryber. Have a good night, everybody.